Today we are talking about money mindset. Specifically, I asked a question in the Coffee with Carissa Facebook group a couple of weeks ago now, and I said, money mindset, are you aware of any money blocks, fears, or beliefs that are holding you back from allowing you to confidently make more money, and what are they? And the amount of replies I had to this kind of blew my mind. Some of them actually made me angry, not at the people, but like at the situation, because I'm like, no, like you're sabotaging it so much for yourself. You could be doing so much better. I really wanted to talk about this. We'll see what comes out. The first one was from Elaine, and she said, yes, I get afraid whenever I get a Facebook post, like a successful ad really taking off. I feel a slight panic inside. And this was a really good one just to mention because it is something that I help a lot of my clients with inside the Wolfpack. It's a fear of the unknown, it's a fear of growth, it's a fear of being successful too quickly, getting out of your comfort zone. Because what happens when this happens, you know, I do help people create successful Facebook ads, and sometimes they do take off really quickly, and then they're like, well, what do I do about this now? There's too many messages, there's too many inquiries, and I don't have enough time to actually like get back to them and service the customers and do the treatments or sell the products or package the orders or whatever it is that they're selling. And so what a lot of people do is they stop the ad or turn it back off again, which really is just going back to their comfort zone. And I talk about, you know, growth means getting out of your comfort zone a lot. There's a thing called growing pains. Having an ad that's doing that well gives you an opportunity to rapidly grow your business. However, you have to be uncomfortable. Every time you grow, you will be slightly uncomfortable. So what I always recommend in a situation like that is that you systemize the sales process, what it is that you're sending with messages in order to get people booking in or buying from you. And then you hire someone to take that over so that you can do the work. Or you hire someone to do the work so that you can do the sales and the marketing and grow the business even bigger. That's what I did years ago. It's what I still do. I hire people to both do the work and the sales conversation so that I can be the one coming up with the ideas. But it's definitely important to realize that when you're about to sabotage yourself and take things back to your comfort zone, you're not going to grow from doing that. So the next one was from Kirsty. This was the one that kind of made me mad, but yeah, not at Kirsty, but at the situation, because I do remember doing this years ago myself, and I got mad at myself when I realized. And she said, I always try to undercharge my clients, my customers, when we get to the till. I have a fear of charging full price. The way around this is you have to separate yourself emotionally from the business. Now, most people, when they do this, they have either a fear of rejection, a fear of someone saying you're too expensive, or that's such a ripoff, or you're not worth that, you're not worthy of my money. So sometimes that's a self-worth thing, sometimes that's a fear of rejection thing, but you have to separate yourself from the business and see yourself as an employee of the business, and the business prices are this much, and you are the person who is servicing the customer and then charging the price that the business requires. Discounting your customers when they get to the till is not serving you, and it's not serving them either, because it is reducing the value. I can't think of the word for this, but when people offer me a discount when I get to the checkout, I want to pay them full price. I'm like, no, don't give me a discount, don't do it for free. I really enjoyed this service, I want to pay you the money. And sometimes by people discounting it, it devalues it both for me and for them, for the business. So really think about it from the perspective of the business is worth this much. It's not about you. If you have team members working for you, which I know Kirsty does, I said, well, what do the team do when they get to the counter? And she's like, they just charge whatever the price is. I'm like, well, why don't get someone else to do the payments? You can do the services. But it is something that you have to it's gonna be uncomfortable. If it feels uncomfortable for you, the only way to change that and to get through it is to do the thing that is uncomfortable. It is the only way through it, and you'll realize very quickly that everybody's fine with it, and they may even pay more when you raise your prices, which is another topic. Regina had an interesting one which I'd never heard before. She said, I realized one of the reasons why it was so difficult for me to save money was because when I was little, if I didn't spend all my money right away, my sister would come in and steal it while I was sleeping. So I'm working on this belief still. So she has a belief that when she gets money, she has to spend it all, otherwise someone else is going to take it from her, which is very fascinating. And yes, I have not experienced that one, but once again, I think it is just doing the thing that's uncomfortable. So if saving money is uncomfortable for you, then you have to do it in order to get through it. But what I might look at doing is creating a savings account which you can't actually access or withdraw from if that's a real issue for you. So you put 50 bucks or $100 a week in or whatever you can, and you can't take it out, and it's forcing you to save money. Charmin had an interesting one. She said possibly how I price things, that I feel like I'm undercharging and so I'm not making enough. And once again, this comes down to separating yourself from the business and looking at the business as though, how much do you have to charge for your services in order to make the profit that you want to make? It's not about you, and it's not about being the cheapest or the most affordable. There is room to be successful in any business in any price range, but you have to figure out, well, look, how much money, how much profit do I want to make per year? Then how many services do I need to sell for that? What's the profit on each of them? What should I price myself at in order to reach that financial amount? So it comes back to that kind of working backwards strategy. I feel like I don't know if I explained that well enough just then, but we can dig into that a little bit deeper in another video. If you're interested, let me know. Catherine says, and this is a big one, Catherine says, my concern is if I become a greedy person. So I've always been humble when it comes to money, and my upbringing was if you want it, you work for it. Sometimes I want comforts, other times I want a unicorn, which I'm taking, she means like, you know, big, extravagant, expensive purchases or things like that. And so this is definitely something that I've worked through over the years personally. I was very much raised with a, you know, you don't need it, and reuse things and save the things and look for the cheapest option and the cheapest price and the best value. Growing up, I didn't even go into certain stores, like we'd never been into like a Maya or a David Jones because I always saw them as like too expensive brand name things. That's not the type of person I am. I'm the type of person that goes into Best and Less or Kmart and things like that, and I still do. However, once again, I've changed that belief by doing the things that I felt uncomfortable about. There's still a few on my list that I haven't done yet. Like I've never been into a Louis Vuitton store or Tiffany & Co. because I still have that like, oh, I'm not the type of person that shops there kind of belief. I know that by doing it, it's the only thing that's going to bust through that belief. Wanting to make more money does not make you greedy. This is probably another topic for like a whole other video, but money is abundant and everywhere, and you can have a lot of it and not be greedy and still be humble. It's not about how much money you have and what you do with it. It's about who you are as a person, and it's important to remember that the more money you have is a direct reflection of how much value you are offering to the world and how many people you are helping. So if you instead take the focus of I want to make more money and you change it to I want to help thousands or millions of people, then of course you're going to make thousands or millions of dollars or multi-millions of dollars from helping that many people through the services that your business offers. So money can be looked at as a direct measurement tool or a reflection of how many people you're helping, and that's the way that I look at it now. It's not about me trying to make more money, it's about me trying to make a bigger difference in the world and change more people's lives, and I do that by helping them to invest in themselves, because people don't value things that are free. Simple as that. Sometimes they do, but they'll definitely get a better transformation when they commit to making a transaction.
Oh, that's a good quote. That needs to be like an Instagram post.
I think I saw that on someone else's thing. I think I stole that, but I said it differently. The transformation is in the transaction. I don't know who said it. There are so many more comments on this post. This video could probably go for 30 minutes. There was another one from Sarah who said, I have so many ideas, so my problem is like focus with money. My industry is so saturated, I've started to look at a different pathway. And I actually wanted to say, this comes down to paying attention to your competition again. Every industry is saturated. Doesn't matter what you want to do, there are thousands of other people doing it. So there is room for you to be successful in any industry though, as long as you have something a little bit unique, and as long as your focus is mostly on who you want to help and how you want to help them and how you can do that in the highest and best possible way. As soon as you start thinking about my industry is saturated, there's too many things going on, there's too many things I want to do, or like I can't do that because someone else has already done it, then you are going to sabotage yourself and you won't have the results that you want. In regards to focus and having so many ideas and wanting so many businesses all at once, you absolutely can do that, but you can't do them all at once and you can't do them all yourself. We did make a video about this just recently. You need to hire people to continue things that you start if you are the one that has all of the ideas. It's the only way to bring them all to life. Oh, this is another interesting one. It's definitely a belief. I don't think this is, I mean, she thinks it's true because she believes it. But Claire said, the area I'm in, people don't want to or can't afford to spend money a lot of the time, but I can't move. Moving's not an option to another area. I believe that this isn't necessarily true because people will spend money on things that they want. It doesn't matter how much it is. It doesn't matter how broke they are or what area you're in. People are buying cars and taking out loans for things they can't afford all the time because they want them. There are payment plan options, there is Afterpay, there are so many things, and there are always people who will spend more on things even if they can't afford them. They'll put it on their credit card, but it does come back down to how much do they want it? How unique is it? How special is it? How will it make them feel? If you're just another business doing similar things to what everyone else is doing and there's nothing setting you apart, then why would people choose you over someone else if you are a higher price? However, once again, I think it's important that to realize that this is a belief and that you never know how much money anyone has. And usually when people give you an excuse or a reason as to I can't afford that, it's not that they can't afford it, it's that they don't want it badly enough, and that's their excuse. Because when people want something badly enough, they will find or make the money. So there are so many more on this. I'm going to be live every single Monday in the Coffee with Carissa group from now on to do a live Q&A session. If you have a money mindset belief, definitely come into the group and ask about it, and we can add that to one of the topics that we'll cover. I'd really love to help people work through these things, but it's really important to remember that the only way to get through a fear is to face it. So if there's anything that you are afraid of, just put on your boss hat, pump yourself up, do the thing that you're afraid of, and you will realize that it's actually not that scary.